As a multifaceted creative embarking down my YouTube journey, one of the most common bits of advice that I've come across is to niche down. Now, I work with a bunch of different mediums. I have a lot of interests. You, I'm sure, have lots of different interests. And to boil down who one person is into just one thing and stick to it just kind of feels very restrictive and not really true to who I am. However, I've watched dozens of videos on the topic, and I've realized it's not quite as black and white as many of them present. There might actually be a way to share all of your varied interests and find success. Hi, for those who don't know me yet, I'm Owen Moore, an audiovisual artist who works with code, synthesizers, and visual design. In this video, I'm going to share what I've learned about trying to combine all of these interests into one unifying brand and how that might actually work for the almighty algorithm. Most channels have a clear theme and repeated video format. You kind of know what you're going to get when you go to most of them, at least the successful ones. Their titles, thumbnails, descriptions, and the video content are all aligned and don't stray too far from what their bread and butter is. YouTube's systems all kind of pick up on this, and they try to find the best fit between the viewer and the content. So my struggle is knowing that that's how the system works. How do you fit into that when you don't fit into the box? So if you're like me and you work with multiple mediums, do you really need to restrict yourself, box yourself in and feel contained in order to find success? Well, I don't think so. So let me explain. You are the niche. That's a phrase I've come across multiple times in researching this topic. And it basically boils down to you as the individual have your own perspectives, ideas, creative projects, your own style, and that can be the thing that provides continuity for your content. However, the question I had was, well, you can't just do whatever you want, right? It won't make sense. One day you can't do a cooking video, then next day do a complex mathematics and have it really kind of tie together and feel right for the audience. So of course not, you can't do that. But I did find some advice that really kind of helps tie it all together. There's a video by Aaron on Demand that really helped put things into perspective regarding niches. In it, she describes basically niche layering, where you start with this foundational layer, and then you can build upon it different niches and go into more detail for each of them. So that layer, that foundational layer, is basically your core beliefs, a motif, or maybe an industry or something like that. But basically, it allows you to go across many different topics, but tie it together with some sort of cohesive narrative when you're exploring each of the individual topics. I thought this garden was kind of a good visual metaphor for that, in that this plot of land is clearly a garden full of flowers and different plants. It has that foundation, but then within each of those, there's different species of the plants, different colors, different stem types. I'm not an arborist, so I don't know the details. But if I were to describe these, I could go into each detail individually, and it would still fit the narrative of that entire plot. And even so, I could even go even farther into the actual bees collecting pollen and describe how each of the plants kind of interacts with that. So I thought this was kind of a great way to take the I am the niche and recognize that that is the foundation on top of which I can produce. But it did leave me with one question, which is, how do I be the niche? Build a personal brand. That was advice that I came across pretty frequently when looking around for relevant information. And if I'm honest, it felt like a buzzword. Most of the people out there that I came across anyways just kind of felt a little bit like they were trying to pump their own YouTube channel and upsell you into some sort of course or community program. And frankly, unless I see them building channels, doing other content and have that validation, it's just not for me. And I kind of wrote off the term entirely. But that was until I came across Caleb Ralston's course, How to Build a Personal Brand. And it's 6 hours of information he released for free on YouTube. It's fantastic. Highly recommend you go give it a watch, maybe over a course of number of days and take some notes. But he presented himself very earnestly, honestly, and while he is basically using as an advertisement for his branding company, it didn't feel force-fed or inauthentic. In the course, he teaches that a brand is an intentional pairing of relevant things done consistently. Whether you like it or not, you have a brand. It's what people associate you with. Through a bunch of the frameworks, he teaches ways that you can intentionally craft this association, and you put it out there consistently through your words, actions, and relationships. Over time, you'll build your personal brand. To me, this felt like the non-buzzword kind of solution that I had been looking for. So coming out here and giving a think about what it is that inspires me, what do I want to say, what kind of work do I want to do, and really kind of nail down what my personal brand is, I feel like was the solution to being able to have a way to tie the different initiatives that I want to take on and have the channel make sense. So what is my personal brand? Well, I'm still figuring that out. But the course started off with 4 questions designed to work backwards from what you desire to actionable steps that you could take towards defining it. And I thought they were really helpful, so I'm going to list them off along with my answers to you now. The first question is, what do I want to have happen? Well, I want to work from home in my studio on projects that excite me. I'd love if people discover my work, celebrate it, share, maybe even have it up on their walls. I'd love to help elevate the public perception of what algorithmic art is and its value. Maybe open some doors to exhibitions or creative collaborations with brands or individuals that I respect. And be able to do all of this and live a comfortable life. The second question is, what do I have to be known for to achieve that? An ability to deliver creatively challenging projects, having a distinct and engaging style, presenting myself creatively, calmly, but also clearly, having demonstrable skills and technical proficiency, and a persona that's confident and unique, but relatable. The third question is, what do I have to do to be known for that? I probably need to challenge myself to create impressive works that inspire others. Create, document, share my work via high-quality content like this. Define my personal brand and create a master document so I can follow it a little more accurately. Engage with the community, offer value to all of you freely, and have fun. Try to stand out from the crowd creatively. And finally, the fourth question is, what do I have to learn in order to do those things? Well, I feel like I need to become a better storytelling in my copywriting, newsletter, and video content, and a little bit on freestyling when I need to just come up with something, kind of like right now. I need to get better at video production in general. Filming, how to use my camera, color grading, getting a little more organized with the data, being able to edit faster, all of that kind of stuff. I need better organizational and time management skills. It's hard making videos while still having time to make art. And having to think of the two things together, it's a little challenging, so I need to figure out a way to time schedule that. And finally, public speaking. You know, I'm speaking to you on this camera, but I feel like this is an area that I could improve upon. All right, I'm back home now. There were some nasty looking rain clouds chasing me the whole day, and I had to cut it short. You've heard my answers to the 4 questions now, and I can share that I'm feeling a lot more confident about the direction of my channel. I don't quite have the brand nailed down yet, but it's given me a few things to think about that I think will help bring some clarity while allowing me to explore the different creative pursuits that I'm interested in. So I want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I hope you've learned something. Be sure to check out those 2 videos that I was talking about. They're linked in the description. Maybe let me know what you're struggling with. Did you have any trouble defining a personal brand? Have you done it? Did it benefit you? I'd love to know. If you want to know more about what I do, I send out occasional newsletters at newsletter.owmo.studio. It's not very frequent, maybe once every couple months, but it's the best way to kind of see a summary of everything I've been doing, so be sure to go subscribe there. And with that, I'll thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.